Well, we're back, Grandpa.
Okay.
We are. What episode is this now? This is episode 157.
157.
Yep. Oh man, how are you doing?
What
How
you
are you
saying?
doing? How are
Oh
you
yeah,
doing?
I'm doing pretty good now. Yeah.
You might want to sit closer to the laptop so you can hear easier, Grandpa.
I'm right there. I'm right there at the laptop. I'm in front of it now.
Oh, well, you good? You good?
Maybe
Okay.
somebody can get up closer. But I'm right.
Well, let's
But
let's
I'm
bear
not
in.
looking at TV because the TV timed out or something. I don't know.
It's all right. What do you got today?
Oh, what I got?
Mm-hmm.
I got a little bit of you heard of Foster's Lager.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good Australian beer. You
I
know.
think we've had that before, Grandpa, a few
Yeah, we
times.
have, but I decided to get it again because I was at Kroger's, and Kroger's limited in they kind of beer, you know.
Hey, you star of the show, Grandpa. You can do what you want.
Yeah, okay. See, I'm trying
Well,
to.
what are you gonna update your rating, or what you gonna rate it today?
Well, I'm trying to figure out first. Been so long since I had some. Oh, okay. This is a 25 fluid ounces,
Mm-hmm.
750 milligram, whatever it is. 1.9.4 fluid ounces. 1 pint and 9.4 fluid ounces. And it's a lager beer. I can't read no more till I get put my glasses on. But anyway, I'm gonna start out because I remember somebody telling me about Foster's a long time ago when I first tried it. So I'm gonna give it a 6 to start with because I can always go up. Can't go down on Foster's.
Oh, okay. So it's a stable six.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Um, I'll wait for you to open that up. But I got something from. I guess this is, huh?
I said, go ahead.
Something from Rock Brewing or Rock Brewing.
Uh huh.
Oh, Rock. So this is Rocktoberfest Marzen. 5.7% by alcohol by volume. This traditional Marzen is copper in color with a full frothy head and a herbal hop aroma. Light malt flavors that are not overly sweet with a crisp and clean finish. Perfect for the season.
And what's the name of it again?
Rocktoberfest.
Rocktober, because this is Oktoberfest time. You know, your dad going to October uh, Oktoberfest. It's
Yeah.
it's going on. It started in September, so it's going on now. I think it lasts till maybe 1st of October, maybe 8th or 10th of October.
Okay.
So you're right in line with it. Then you say that's Oktoberfest.
Yeah. So this is actually a Michigan beer. This was made in Marshall, Michigan.
Oh, okay,
So there
yeah,
you go.
okay,
Let's do the pour test. Let's see what's going on.
oh, okay. Have you noticed my head on mine?
A little bit.
Yeah,
Got a lot of head.
yeah.
It's a heady beer.
Mm. Yeah, it's still Foster's, all right.
It's still Foster's. It
Yeah,
is copper. I'll give you that. I think
yeah,
they use the word copper from to distract the fact that it looks like regular beer color, or
yeah, mm,
most normal. I shouldn't say normal, but most widely spread beer color. At
yeah.
least I know about. So I'm not too sure what a Marzen is, though. Let me look that up. What is Marzen beer? What is
Yeah,
Marzen?
yours is copper.
So let me see. Okay, Marzen beer is a beer rich in malt with a balance of clean hop bitterness similar to a Vienna lager. So I guess it's like a lager.
Yeah.
So let's see. Hold on. Okay, let me see. Let me check that again. So it kind of smells a little bit like like a more mellow Budweiser, but it does not taste like Budweiser.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. It kind of tastes like, um, it kind of tastes like toast. A little bit, like toast. If you have, some fresh toast, or
Yeah.
like a really crispy bagel.
Yeah, toast. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm
Okay.
gonna give this a solid 7. You might like this, Grandpa. Uncle Pooh.
Okay.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Oh yeah, we getting by. Yeah.
I just rated this Rocktoberfest, this Marzen, which is apparently similar to a lager in terms of beer style.
Rocktoberfest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't like it, but it definitely tastes like a beer like Grandpa would enjoy. I got a few more cans. I'll drop some off to him.
Yeah. This I went down under, on this one, on the Australian beer.
Yeah.
You know how they say when Australia you go down under, right?
Yeah, he went down under and got a lot of head from his beer.
It's important.
Yeah.
I broke out me a Bourbon County today. This is
when are you going to just let people know that you own partial stake in that company?
this is 20
advertising, ain't it?
This is 2019 Bourbon County. We just bought so much, and then they age for a few years, and there's a point of no return, right? Like it's you go too far. Yeah. So it's around 5 years. This is 4 years old. So we've been just kind of drinking up our oldest stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you got more back there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's definitely more.
Oh,
dang, okay. That beer is like.
Let me ask this embarrassing question, Tim. How much one of them bottles costs?
When they come out, they only about $12, $15, depending on where you got it. They like $20, and this just the regular base. They got them. They go up to a few $100 for the 22 ounce when they first come out. But this is 4 years old now, so I'm not sure what the resale value is. I try not to look because I wind up selling them instead of drinking them.
They got a label when you increase in price, right?
Yeah, the older it is, depending on what year, what batch, you
can say I got a 2020 or something like that.
Yeah, this is 2019.
2024 or something, then that means it's going to be worth more.
It's going to be worth more. Yeah, you're not going to be able to buy it for the same price.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is a good one.
Yeah.
Man, I've been meaning to tell you. So when we come back from Egypt, we got a layover in Frankfurt, Germany.
Yeah.
You should probably, hey, Uncle Pooh, instead of calling it by this is just an idea, and calling it its European name. Like once people bought the tickets, you should call it by its traditional name, like Kushite or the Land of Kush, or
or Kemet.
Or Kemet.
That's interesting. I like that.
Because that way, it's like where you're separating yourself. Because anybody can go to Egypt, but if you're taking people to the motherland, you should call it by their ancestral name.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's a good conversation for the journey.
Because how many countries over there are actually European names and not their traditional name?
Yeah, I think all of them.
No, isn't Ethiopia still?
Oh, Ethiopia is the only one.
It might be the only one because they were never conquered.
They were never conquered. Yeah.
They may have been conquered, but they will beat the devil. Mussolini came in there and killed up a whole lot of them.
Well, they say they still keep the bloodline direct to what is it, King Solomon?
King Solomon, yeah.
They say that's still kicking. So,
but I think the last of the bloodline, I thought it ended with Haile Selassie. No,
I have to look more into that. But to my knowledge, it's still going. No, that might not be true. That might not be true, but that's what I understand it.
No, he had children.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I heard. Seemed like I heard somewhere back that bloodline ended with Haile Selassie.
I love how Grandpa.
Maybe not the hit. Maybe the emperor. He was an emperor. Maybe the emperor thing gone.
What's funny to me about this is Grandpa don't be remembering me taking him to the bar, but he remember a specific man's name who was the emperor of Ethiopia
60 years ago, right?
60 years ago. And he talked about him like he met him, like he shook his hand. So I'd be like, Grandpa, remember we went to the bar a couple weeks ago? He's like, no, Josh, we ain't never went nowhere. But that's I wanted to also say that I have officially sacrificed my hair so Grandpa can keep his.
No.
So another head has been sacrificed to keep Grandpa's full head of hair.
Hey, it's a lot of us out there, right?
So kept them all. Make sure none of his kids got it, but just make sure he kept it. That's some powerful stuff right there. But let's get into the topic. What did you rate yours, Uncle Pooh?
Oh man, I didn't drink it now. I would say it's a good 8.5.
8.5. Okay. I ain't never had an 8.5. I don't think.
You don't be wanting to drink with me.
I remember when we were in Grandpa's living room and you brought that. What was that type of? It was a special type of like a sour or something. And Grandpa's face looked like he had in a car crash.
Yeah. He hated that one.
What was that now? I hated it.
Yeah, one of my beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling it.
Well, let's get into the topics today. So, as I brought up to you guys earlier in the week, so Michigan will move forward to the Detroit area, so Southeast Michigan, with the I-75 moderation project in Detroit after winning a $105 million competitive federal grant. So, for people who don't know, I-75 is a freeway or highway? I think it's freeway. That basically ran through a majority black business district, Black Bottom. Grandpa was there before, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what do you remember about, before I get into it, what do you remember about that area specifically right up to the point where they decided to destroy it?
Oh, I remember that was, I won't say Black Bottom, that was a place where black folks were in control of I guess they were own the business, but it was all black businesses, And it started over there around about when I-75, around about 6 Mile Road. Going south on 6 Mile Road, it would take you all the way downtown to where, 75, is now, and only makes that swing, going over to, of course, the river's there, go alongside the river and then on further. But that was most of that area there was all black people's businesses, the barbecue joints, the bowling alleys, because at this particular time, you couldn't use certain bowling. You could only use a bowling alley that was owned by blacks, or I don't know if it owned by blacks, but it was a place for black people to go. Because certain bowling alleys wouldn't let you bowl, But that area there, I mean, it was record shops, dry cleaners, ice cream stores. We had Bothwell's, and Bothwell made a real good ice cream too. And he had 3 or 4 different stores. He sort of franchised. I don't know. I won't say franchise out, but he had about 3 or 4 different ice cream stores, Bothwell ice cream. And we just had our own area, There was no intermixing unless people came to that area,
So what was
one came like the Flame Show Bar, Well, you had a mixture of black and white, because that was the height of black entertainment, Flame Show Bar, Paradise Theater, So we had people come into our neighborhoods, but basically it was somewhat black,
What was the biggest act that you saw that came to that entertainment area?
Everybody came, but if you want to go back to the Paradise Theater, when Sammy Davis Jr. and the Will Masterson Trio, Sammy was the entertainer. He had his uncle and his father dancing in that thing,
Wow.
And Sammy could he imitate people like James Cagney and Everett G. Robinson. He tap danced, he sang, he did the whole 9 yards before he went off on his own, you know. But it was the real Masterson Trio. And at that particular time, even if you go to the art museum, I mean the black, you call that art museum, the Afro-American Museum. If you go there, you'll see a door that they took from Paradise. You know, that was Paradise Valley, they called it. The theater was the Paradise Theater.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people went through that doors, like the Dinah Washingtons and the Billie Holidays and the Duke Ellingtons, Count Basie. It was like Red Fox. You know, everybody was somebody. Came to when I say somebody, black people. Everybody was somebody. As black entertainers, you could go see them, you know, because they didn't. It ain't like now where you know you got another level of entertainment. But it flourished though. It was sort of like what when you were telling me about the. I got to go see that ballpark. You said over there off of Grand Boulevard, the Negro Ballpark.
This is in Detroit?
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
What you say?
This is in Detroit?
No, you said Hamtramck, you say, you know. But it's all.
Oh, I have to look that up. I have never heard about this.
Yeah, you told me.
I told you?
Or Freddie, did you tell me? No, I got to be one of the two of y'all. Tell me about the. It's all fixed up now. It's a real nice ballpark over there.
I told you that they tore down Old Tiger Stadium and built up the ballpark and put apartments.
No, this was a black ballpark.
Oh no!
Over there by Hamtramck, where General Motors is, or where they make the Cadillac, or used to make the Cadillac.
We'd have to look that up, but that's
that what you told me about it, because I said I'm on first chance I get, I'm going down there and look at it. They said
that might have been Uncle Hank.
Historic Hamtramck Stadium.
Okay, maybe it was Uncle Hank. Yeah.
Historic Hamtramck Stadium, Grandpa.
Yeah. Or the Negro League played.
I dropped the link. I just dropped the link.
We might have to investigate that.
Somebody told me it got a nice ballpark. They done restored over there. But it's all I can remember though is when I was a kid, where I thought it was down there on 6 Mile Road and DeQuinda there, or 6 Mile and DeQuinda over there. That's why now. But I remember though, you know, it was a treat to go to black ball games. Of course, I didn't have no money, but they partied, man. We had the 10-tub barbecue. You could get a sandwich for a quarter if you had a quarter, you know.
You see this?
Yeah, see, I don't remember none of that.
This is the historic Hamtramck Stadium. Was the Hamtramck Stadium community's own field of dreams from 1930 to 1997. That is interesting. So thanks to the
I gotta go see that. Who said that?
This is in the 1930s. Hamtramck Stadium was the home of the Detroit Stars and Detroit Wolves of the major Negro leagues, whose talented players were heroes in the African American community, yet too often invisible men to the rest of America. I'll take you here, Grandpa. This is definitely going to be a field trip.
Yeah, I like that. You know, I ain't never seen it before, but it doesn't remind me of what I remember. Maybe they had two places where black played baseball. You know.
No, that's interesting.
It don't remind me. No, that looks all nice and. I don't see no place for a tub. I don't for a 10-tub and a screen in a barbecue pit. It don't look like that.
I bet they look like they keep it up, so it could be something.
Yeah, that's took them down a different line. That's all nice and pretty and everything. So I don't know.
But
gentrified.
It's
being gentrified.
Yeah, it must have or did something because it ain't what I remember.
Well, I wanted to. So we brought up the black bottom getting restored, possibly. But so in the release, it doesn't. It says that also. So today, Michigan's competed for and won funding for the modernization project to replace a mile of highway with Detroit with an accessible boulevard, expanding opportunities for local small businesses, reconnecting communities split apart nearly 6 decades ago. Now, this doesn't specifically say. So I believe that's a quote from. I don't know. It doesn't say who the quote's from. I don't want to put people's names out there, but it's quoted. But it doesn't specifically say anything about giving any type of reparations to the black community that was destroyed there.
Yeah, hell no.
So in a comment, so I posted this a few days ago on Facebook, and one of the comments was, which made me think, because it's from one of my old football coaches, and what did he say? Because I want to get this quote specifically. So he brought up the point, which is a good point in my opinion. The government will only give what is not useful to them. All show, no go. So if there's money to be made, you think they're really? He was, because I was talking about, like, I told him I was just kind of being benign about it, because I don't know what's going to happen with it, right, for sure. But he's like, you really think they're going to give reparations out? And I was just like, I don't know, right? And he was just like, he was like, when has the government ever given away something that benefited them?
You could have told him, well, maybe after we get free.
Well, I'm not that good of a comedian.
But look,
then maybe after we get free, then maybe they might think of reparations.
Not only are they not about to give no reparations to nobody that was wrong in the stealing of Black Bottom, it ain't gonna be no black owners in the new development that's created.
You're right.
You're right. I agree with that now.
I 100% agree with that.
And I know there's a ton of people who always say, well, Franny, you don't know. Let's wait and see. That's like your wait and see attitude, Josh.
Yeah.
But I know you're more awake than most of these people. But let's wait and see. We've been waiting and seeing for a couple of 100 years.
I was saying that because it wasn't specifically said it was black people, and it was just like a small clip of an article. I'm like, I can't definitively say something I don't know. I'm trying to practice that. I'm trying to practice not definitively saying something I don't know.
I hear you, but based upon historical evidence and behavior of this country, that state, and that area specifically, you can say it's statistically likely,
right,
that no one is going to get any reparations that was wronged in the taking of this area, and there will be no black representation in ownership. And that sounds ridiculous in an area that's all black, but apparently black people don't control shit in this black area because they never have no say.
You don't have no idea of what they intend to do with the land in the future, the money or nothing. If you got an old house about to fall down and somebody gonna offer you twice the value, where they was gonna give you $2,000, now they're gonna give you $3,000, you sold, man. There was only a few people that understood the value of the property on the river. Now I think on that Greystone project, I think about 3 or 4 people held out, for more, But the average person, man, I'm gonna give you a couple of dollars.
Wait. So I want to clarify something the grandpa just said. So what was the actual reasoning? Did they just take the land, or did they actually buy the people out from Black Bottom?
They bought them out.
Okay,
but they didn't give them the value. You got property on the river, you just don't give somebody the value of their house.
No. See,
double that.
They ain't talking about the river. I'm talking about Black Bottom.
Yeah, well, I mean, all of the Black Bottom project extended just about to the river, didn't it?
Yeah, right, but they didn't. No, they didn't buy nobody out in the Black Bottom area. This is the same thing that happened around the country in black areas. They came and they claimed eminent domain, and they took the property and gave you quote unquote fair compensation for your loss.
That's what I'm talking about when I say buy them out.
Yeah, but that's not buying out. Buying out is a negotiation.
That ain't no fair compensation. If you got a spot close to the river and somebody gonna give you fair compensation, and they say, well, the value of your house is $4,000, we'll give you $5,000,
Hey, just to clarify,
hey, man, I made something off of, not knowing that it's going to be worth millions.
To clarify what the definition of eminent domain is, eminent domain, for people who don't know, because I kind of knew, but I didn't definitively know. It refers to the power of the government to take private property and convert it into public use. The
Right.
Fifth Amendment provides that the government may only exercise this power if they
Right.
provide just compensation to the property owners.
Right.
Exactly. So that's what happens all around the country, where you see these highways and freeways ran. They ran them through our neighborhoods,
Yeah.
and claimed the property for public use, and then paid a quote unquote fair compensation. But if you've been noticing, like, the appraisal values of black homes, right, black homeowners in the same area, when you switch out the pictures and show white people, and all of a sudden the value of the home is $300,000 more than what the previous appraisal was with black people in it, then
Right.
you know the type of bullshit that this country been running. It was the same thing, right? And this is why people are talking about potential reparations, because now you want to come back and basically put Black Bottom back together,
Yeah.
right? But you
doing that,
robbed all those people is a decades of money, income, and opportunity, deliberately.
Gentrification is happening big time in Detroit. Me and Hank went down. He took me to a place called Congregation. The
Oh,
Congregation,
yeah, that's right. That's near my
The
house.
church?
huh? Yeah, you've been there, right?
Yeah, it's near my house.
Yeah. So Hank took me by there. It was a church, but it's turned into a restaurant. Sell beer and stuff. But they changed. But the name of it is a Congregation. In fact, some of the pews from the old church are still in the restaurant. But me and Hank went in there, and at that particular time, Hank's wife, Carol, mother Bernice, had a friend used to live there on Atkinson, because that used to be a pretty well kept area, And she had a beautiful home, because I always liked it, that center staircase. You come down from upstairs in the house, and you got this big staircase. I love that, because Hank had it over there on that street he was on at one time. But anyway, the demographics, the people that was coming there, man, you would never know this used to be an all black, neighborhood now, We went in there, man. I think at that particular time, the ratio was probably 3-1, 3 white to 1 to every black, that came in there. But I was saying that to say that the area, the bicycle riding and the skateboards and jogging and all that is pretty safe over there now. You can do those things over there where Joshua lived, where before, they had a problem, especially with security, But
I've taken Ashley over there a few times. Just like, she likes the coffee or whatever over there. And I'm telling you, man, we walked over there. We drove over there one day, and they were doing some type of outdoor ballet lessons for little kids.
Yeah.
Like in the little grass area of it. I'm just like, never in a million years did I think this particular thing were going to be happening in this particular area.
Man, in the late 90s, early 2000s, Immortal Technique got a song where he's talking about the hood is prime real estate and they won't back in again. So like this what's happening now is really the manifestation of probably 30, 40 years ago, right? They decided that they're about to come back and claim all of this prime real estate, because that's really what's happening. They packaging black folks up, moving them out to the suburbs with these ill-equipped utilities and and drainage systems. Meanwhile, they back in the city, like, building like crazy.
It really.
If somebody listening and you own grandma's house, you better keep grandma's house.
I think it really happened when you started to see black people from the city of Detroit move out to Southfield and think they were doing something.
Yeah,
like, we in Southfield. We in Southfield. We in Southfield now. Everyone knows that person who was like, they moved out to Southfield and thought they were hot stuff because they moved out to Southfield for whatever reason. But they got past St. Mile barrier and thought everything changed.
You got to be aware and learn more about real estate and what you're buying, and to be able to get somebody to inspect what you're buying. Because the same thing happened when back in the 50s when they were moving over there to where over to Atkinson and places.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the house was built maybe in the 30s or the 20s or something, and you buy the house, but you're buying it on a hairstring budget, right? Then you get in the house, and all of a sudden now the house needs a roof. Now this big house you just bought, hey, you making mortgage payment, you ain't can't pay for no roof, and then the furnace go out, and that's when your problem begins. Some people can afford to survive, but a lot of folks don't. They mortgage, they may lose the house because of lack of payment, because if they might have had to put a roof on it or something. But we keep going through that same thing. So those people who are leaving, going to Southfield and everything, in those houses, what, say 40, 50 years old, some of them ain't never had a roof on it. But if you ain't had nobody inspect it, you thinking, hey, I like this, but you liking the trouble you buying too,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a total reversal. You go out there and buy and put the roof on, and the people coming back in and getting what you just sold for a dime, and then they put it back in, and all of a sudden now the house that was worth $50,000 now it's worth $400,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the market is moving fast right now. I don't know if it's moving up or down, but it's moving. It's a lot going on. It was like a seller's market for a second. Now they talking about it's a buyer's market. I don't know. I'm not in the market, so I don't know exactly what's happening. But I see the stock market is up and down. They all kind of mimic.
It's been very volatile. It's been very volatile.
Yeah.
The house. Man, Hank, if you get to Detroit, man, I want to take you by. Have you ever been there, Josh, to Gus's Chicken?
Yeah, I brought. I remember I used to bring Gus's all the time to the house.
Sure, I forgot. But anyway, those houses that put up there behind Gus's,
mm-hmm.
They used to, back at the time it was Cash Corridor.
It's still Cash Corridor.
No, it's Midtown. Don't they call it Midtown now?
No, I mean, but it's still Cash Corridor.
I know it's still Cash Corridor, but they call it They changed the name because Cash Corridor used to be people laying out there with addictions and and drinking and stuff.
Jeez.
But those people that got out of there now, because that building we not said right behind Gus's. That building they built several of them over there. They were $450,000.
Oh yeah, like at the
quarter no more. That's Midtown.
Yeah, what's it called?
You left Cash Quarter. You ain't coming back, Cash Quarter.
There's a bunch of townhouses right across the street from Little Caesars Arena. When I moved back to Detroit, what was it, 2016, 2017? They were selling them for $250,000, right?
Yeah.
These townhouses. Them townhouses are like $750 million things now in only a few short years.
Yeah.
So I mean, they didn't.
Like I said, nothing right.
Could you imagine that? Like you just got in at the right time. Now you a millionaire, but on paper.
Somebody did it. The thing was people who was buying back in 2011, 2010, 2011, 2012, like they racked up.
Yeah.
But it was typically people who had enough money. Like what nobody like that could barely afford $200,000. I ain't gonna say nobody, but could barely afford $200,000 was taking a gamble on downtown Detroit, right? That was typically somebody that was like, oh man, things go crazy, I'll pack up and leave, or this is the extra house, or when I'm in the Northwest, or when I'm in the Midwest, there we go. Right, I just stay down here, right? Like, but that's the advantage of having money, or at least access to capital, when you can take those gambles.
Yeah, you can't. What it is too, you can't wait.
Damn, I wish I'd have bought one though.
You can't wait 15.
You still can
to get no problem. You buy some property, or you own some property. You can't wait for no property 20 years. Somebody come along and offer you something, unless you got a deep pocket. But for the average guy, you can't hold no property 20 years without making some money.
Now you come in here and
they can do it.
Offer me $100,000 over what I owe. Damn, offer me $100,000 over what I owe. Damn, what is value? I'm out.
Yeah.
You can have this boy. You can have this boy. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah.
We out. I ain't waiting around for no appreciation. We go. Give me that.
No, it is interesting though. I mean, I don't actually to say this. I don't know what programs or how the funds will be invested by the city because they I guess they won the grant. But I want to know what it would take or who you have to talk to as a black person if you're interested in getting some of the pie. You know what I mean? Like to make it what it was. I mean, because there has to be ways, right? There has to be some type of way to get in. For us to be the by percentage, the largest percentage of black people in the United States, we got to be able to have somebody with a hand somewhere doing something. That's a lot of money. 100, what is it? What did I read? $105 million. So I mean, what we can't shuffle together some idea for how we're gonna get that piece of that bread.
Man,
we can get a Urban Intellectuals kiosk on that street or something.
I mean, if we was collectively investing together, then then we would have a shot. But it ain't enough black folks that got real money. Everybody in the social media streets, they act like they got money. Ain't no black people got no damn money.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a small handful of folks, man.
I know that it's a political game too, because I was talking to Chris the other day, and he was talking about the property up and down Inkster Road, And I'm thinking about, we had the Cook's Barbecue and the Parkman store and Allen's and all that, right? But most of them stores, some of them was torn down and things. But the city got them buildings locked up. People want to buy them, but they won't sell them. So I don't know whether it's a.
Well, actually, the grocery store not too far from you.
Yeah.
Road, that black lady just bought.
Yeah.
So in that little shopping plaza, you know how there's like that glass window, those glass windows, that little shopping area.
You talking about Allen's?
Yeah,
I don't know. Allen. They fixed all that. People have fixed all that up. They're moving stuff in there now. They're doing stuff.
Somebody was telling me that the city had kept them from moving in there. I don't know.
I mean, if I next time I come down there, if you want, I'll drive you by there.
We can go through.
They've replaced a lot of that stuff in there. They're putting something in there.
They say something like Days hair thing, and stuff, and
whatever is as long as
office and all that stuff. They were saying that it's not available, and I didn't know that, but there's a lot of people had interest in those buildings, but they're not available. So it might have something to do with the city and the politics,
I remember driving by there.
Dr. Franklin's office, that's a beautiful building,
I think when I dropped you off here a few weeks ago, when I drove past there, I saw they were renovating. They were doing something in there.
Dr. Franklin's?
Whatever that building is.
You talking about Allen's?
Yeah.
Oh, Allen. Okay, I haven't even been over there because they still have a lot of people.
You should take a look because it looks like they. At the very least, they replaced the windows and doors, and you only do that. You only do that if you're going to do something with it.
Yeah.
You only do that if you're going to do something with it, in my opinion.
I hope so. You're going to do something with it.
You might have to stop by there. To see what's going on. But now let's talk about another story. So y'all, Uncle Pooh Bear, Grandpa, are y'all aware that Brett Favre stole $5 million from the people of Mississippi?
Yeah. Not surprised though.
Yeah, not from the people, from the welfare department.
They're talking how much
from the welfare department.
That government money now. They said about $250 million. People got it supposed to be to feed kids. They bought yachts and boats and planes. Now they 48 people involved in this scandal. $250 million just disappeared. They got unaccountable. They got billions of dollars unaccountable now
there we go.
From that thing,
This is what we talk about, right? So this is the welfare queen, right? Them black women in the hood, they are draining the system.
Yeah.
Man, I can't stand those sisters that just all they do is sit on welfare. Meanwhile, these white men, here go the drain on the system. Right, white men are running these schemes because they control the corporations, right? Who corporations are the biggest welfare queens in this country.
Right. Yeah.
That's who get all the tax advantages and the free money, which are ran by who? White men. Those decisions are made by who? That's right, white men who run the political organizations, both Democrat and Republican. So I'm not leaning on either one of them, which they talk about the Democratic failure in Jackson, right? They blame the local politics on those Democrats. But this Brett Favre and this misappropriation of funds, this thievery, this theft is ran by Republican white men, right? So we got white men on both sides of the aisle running bullshit games, feeding corporations and other rich white men like Brett Favre to continue to drain the system. Meanwhile, they keep pointing to somebody in the hood that might be trying to get some damn milk, and they $350 and they spread around millions of dollars.
Black mirror of it,
and texting talking about, I hope the media don't find out about this.
Yeah,
man,
the black mirror of Jackson, Mississippi. This water problem, it didn't just something popped up. They've been trying to get some money for the last 10 years to correct this problem.
The governors won't direct the funds there.
They wouldn't even let him raise the taxes in the city so that he could help to restore some of this water, equipment and stuff. So you see, man, you got people fighting against what you're trying to do. You're trying to do something for the people. You got just as many folks trying to keep from doing something for the people. That's sad.
It ain't sad, man. It's what America been about.
Yeah, but it's still sad.
Yeah. Well, I think what's sad is black folks refuse to see what the hell it is, because once you see what the hell it is, you realize you got to do it for yourself. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta feed yourself. You gotta clothe yourself. You gotta fund yourself. You gotta do everything. Dr. Clark said it. You have no friends. You have no friends. Ain't none of these people ever tried to do us any type of favor. So going back to Black Bottom, of course they not about to give out no damn reparations. They ain't about to go back and correct none of the ills that they've done on any portion of this planet, let alone unless it's other Europeans. But damn sure not to us, right? But we have no friends. Like we better get serious about solving our own issues. Nobody's coming to save us.
No.
I love my people, man, and we love us some Jesus and we love us some God. People, folks be like, well, all black folks really need is get closer to God. That's bullshit. Black people are uplifting this whole spiritual space with the faith and belief that they have in humanity and the planet and God and Jesus. That ain't what we need. What we need is to start working together. That's what we need. Maybe that's what God and Jesus is telling y'all. Hey, I'm trying to show you all the damn people that's letting you down over centuries that's not coming through for you. Perhaps it's time for you to do for yourself. Maybe that's the message. Somehow we missing that.
I'll tell you what, I think my people are waking up big time in this respect.
You're an optimist, though.
Everything that I was saying about the black woman is our salvation. To me, it seemed to be coming to in front of me. Remember I told you about Bugger Du Bois, and I told you I think he was trying to tell us a message, and he had that whole room full of black women. Black women are movers, man. They movers. They ain't playing. And Du Bois trying to tell you, man, get hold of your woman, because y'all ain't doing shit.
I think the general message actually is, Grandpa, is for us to work together. It can't just be.
Definitely got to work together.
Yeah, but I think
you got to get some equal authority for the women. That's what I'm saying. Let them get out front with you, as partners. Not saying.
I agree with that. But I'm saying to just say that black women are our saviors, I think is unfair to them, because that puts more onus on them doing stuff when it should be the black people. Black people should be their own savior. We shouldn't have to regulate. We shouldn't regulate the messaging. We shouldn't regulate the messaging just to be that we expect our women to be the ones that pull us out of it. Like, we got to be together with them hand in hand and making our lives better together.
Okay. Let's take the New York Attorney General. and she expressed it pretty good. It's stop the steal. She on Trump now, right? And she out front saying, you know, there was something come prior to stop the steal, but she's saying, stop the steal, and that's what was happening. And she out front with her neck, you know. It ain't no easy thing, man, to tackle somebody with the kind of money that Trump had. I don't know.
What? What are you trying to say, Grandpa?
No, I was talking about the attorney general. I'm talking about black women getting out there big time, man. I'm talking about the mayor of Atlanta. I'm talking about the mayors of D.C. I'm talking about that. I've got a whole lot of black women. You say we as a part of it, right too, but they saying now let us share in the power. Let us lead with you, not behind you. Does that make any sense?
Okay, but like that goes to my point though. It should be a unification.
That's what they doing. Trying to get up from before they was in the background. You didn't ever have no black women senators, no black women judges, no black women nothing. But now they sharing some of this power that's out there. Leadership. They said we'll work alongside you. We ain't got to come behind you. We work alongside you.
You talking about black women?
Black women, and I'm saying they saying if what you doing don't work, we'll try it my way. And I think they've been pretty successful too.
I mean, long as they ain't on this clown show as integration.
They with the black woman. She's been out front now.
Yeah, like I said, what is she out?
You can't make blanket statements like that, Grandpa, because they're man and women. Like it's when you're behind enemy lines, which we are as black people in America, where you don't have any real power. Just because there's a black face, and this, like I said, man or woman, doesn't mean that they're in your favor.
No,
let me ask you, what has any black politician done to further our case for reparations, to further our case for, equality, to favor our case for what is in the past 20 years, what is anyone specifically, what are the things? Name 5 things.
Anyone that did what now? Say that again.
So in the past 20 years, what black politician has pushed for explicitly the renewal of the black economy and black people's health and wellness in and of themselves? Like what specific
a lot of them have done it.
What specific policies? What specific policies are catered just for black people in America that they pushed out?
We've had the Shirley Chisholm's. We've had we've had many black.
I'm asking, what are the things? What are the things?
What can you do though in politics when you only 1 or 2?
Well, Grandpa, there's like there's more than 1 or 2 black people in the government.
Let's go back to Adam Clayton Powell.
As a matter of fact,
let's go back to Adam Clayton Powell when he was the only black politician in the Congress.
Grandpa, the United States federal government is the highest employer of black people in America.
They kicked him out of Congress, and he came back with the black vote. But
Grandpa,
we got to go in there, man, and we got to have a coalition. Right now, we got to have
we have a coalition. We have
we're doing something. We're doing.
Grandpa, the federal government is the highest employer of black people in America. There are black people all up and down in the government. What have they done specifically for us? I just said name 5 things. Name 5 specific things that are just for the black community that came out this 20 years.
You're thinking a lot of this legislation like let's just take a Medicare. You think that they didn't have nothing to do with that?
What is it specifically for us?
You said 5 things. I'm trying to say you can't do nothing, but it's got to be unified. It got to be black.
No, because there are Asian delegates of various parts of Asia, I should say, who came and got specific things for their people. There are Latino delegates or whatever who got things specifically for their people. There are people who are running for immigration reform that are specifically for their people.
Why do you see Asians on television now? Asians, all kinds of people. You know who did it? Somebody was in the forefront. Black people was in the forefront to open them doors for everybody. Every time we open
That
up
has
doors
nothing
for
to do with what I
everybody
asked.
jump on the wagon.
I asked what specifically was done for us.
I'll tell you what. Let's do it like this.
Grandpa, like, you know what? I'll do what God did in the Bible when he was asking God what was his name before he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. I was like, he went from 100 to like 50 to 10. Give me 5. Give me 3 things that were done specifically for us in the past 20 years.
That was done Pacific. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. You keep saying Pacific for us. No, it's a coalition. We got black and white.
It's not, Grandpa. Huh? We've seen that that's not true because they gave what $50 billion to the Ukraine specifically for them. I didn't vote for that. Did you vote for that?
The Jews get money every year.
That Ukraine, the $50 million, $50 billion rate of the Ukraine.
You know how much it would cost to
fight? Wait a minute. Let me say this about that. They fighting a proxy war. They fighting for us. If it don't be for us, wait, let me finish what I'm saying. If it don't be for us, there wouldn't be no Ukraine war. In 2014, when Russia had that coup, and they took this pro-Russian guy out and put in a pro-West guy. Then all of a sudden, now we got a war with thousands of people. Why are we spending the money? Because we don't want to talk that NATO stuff. And Russia told them back in 1998, that they wasn't going to have no NATO in that eastern part. Even in Germany. Now look where they at. They got the Russians back to the wall. They ain't fighting. They fighting our war. That's why we're spending all that money. That's the politics. That money going over them, they fighting for us, not for them. They think
so for us. So what about what Uncle Pooh brought up?
Separating Ukraine.
What about Uncle Pooh brought up? So Israel gets money too. Who are they fighting for us?
The what?
Israel getting money too. Who they fighting for us?
They ain't fighting for us.
But they getting money. So
they getting money because of the Jewish thing here. They getting money. They get a couple of $1 billion every year for what?
So what do they do? So I'm asking you, Grandpa, if those specific groups can get money for whatever reason, why can't we as as American citizens who have been wronged by the government time and time again can't get anything specific?
Because we come a long ways and we still got a long ways to go. When we get in
Ukraine got in war. Hold on, Grandpa. The Ukraine got in war Tuesday. They got money Wednesday. Like, what are we even talking about?
What's that now?
The Ukraine got in a war on Tuesday. They got money Wednesday. What is that doing?
They fighting a proxy war. They ain't fighting for them. They fighting for us in that NATO crap. The Russian
Israel been getting money for how many decades?
Wait. The Russian told them NATO. Russian told them if NATO comes into the eastern part of Europe, you got problems. Told them 10 times. Then they took around there and took a pro-Russian guy out of government in the Ukraine, who's president, and put in a pro-West guy. Then all of a sudden, now you got thousands of Ukrainians dying. That's a proxy war.
You're arguing for my point right now because you just said there has to be a coalition, that people can't get specific things. We done gave you 2 specific examples where people from outside the U.S. are getting money for their specific people. Yet we as U.S. citizens who are taxpayers, we do everything we're supposed to do, can't get anything specifically for us. And you've named no good logical reason why that is.
Why we can't get nothing? It's always the same because we ain't look. This southern hemisphere could be much more. It ain't the southern hemisphere ain't like Russia. Okay, let's get a perfect example of Venezuela. You got the Venezuelans coming here because the United States say they got a corrupt government, and when they come over here, they can't get in.
But what that got to do with black people, though?
We ain't saying we got to do. I'm talking about a coalition you got to form. We always open the door for everybody.
Why don't you open the door for yourself?
We open the door for ourselves. Everybody jump on our bandwagon as a minority.
So they jump on the bandwagon, then they get something specifically for them, and then we still don't get nothing.
Well, you know the politics of this country. No, you don't get nothing.
But
Well,
everybody
Grandpa,
else
that's
gets
not the
something.
point.
You can go
You're
and go in and
arguing.
do it.
You're arguing for that system.
But everybody else gets something though.
No, I ain't arguing for no. I'm arguing against the system.
No, you're not. I just
I'm
said to
saying
you.
that
I just said to you in real case study. These things exist. These people are getting money for whatever reason. We aren't. And you gave every excuse in the world for them, but didn't give
I
any
didn't make
real
no
reason
excuse
why
for
we
nobody.
shouldn't.
I'm just saying what I'm just talking about our foreign policy. Why are we over there disturbing people in Venezuela and get them to leave and come over here, and then we won't let them in? Why are they saying that the government, the president of Venezuela was a duly elected person from Venezuela? We made enemies over there. Them enemies, people started leaving there because of persecution. They come here, and then we say, well, you can't come in. Are you following what I'm trying to say?
Well, Grandpa, that has nothing to do with our community. Nothing you just said has anything to do with what I asked you.
What did you ask?
I said, what specific things, legislation or otherwise, have been done from a black politician or anyone specifically for the black community in the past 20 years?
And I keep saying the same thing. It can't be specifically for the black community because we don't have that power. But we get
Okay,
things
now you changed the answer because you said we don't have the power. That makes sense. It can't be.
Have I not always spoke of incremental change?
Because the Asians ain't got no power.
Huh?
The Asians ain't got no power. They sure got an Asian hate bill passed.
You know why the Asians moving up? Because they done jumped on the minority bandwagon.
Man, the Asians
we was in the forefront for the past 100 years.
They 3-4.
Every time we get something, somebody else gets on board and say, "Yeah, that's the minorities."
Yeah, because you allow that shit though. That's the point.
We try to prevent it.
You didn't probably prevent nothing. You just said for the past 5 minutes that we help other people.
I said they jump on our bandwagon. I didn't say we fight for something.
So if it's so easy to jump on a bandwagon, when they jump on ours and then they get something, why don't we just jump on theirs?
Maybe we ain't got sense enough to jump on there.
All these intelligent people.
No, I'm saying that
now, all these intelligent people ain't got no sense.
We open the doors and the changes are incremental when we open the doors. We don't.
Or you got gatekeepers at the door that look like you that keep selling your ass out.
Huh?
I said, or you got gatekeepers at the door that look like you that keep selling your ass out.
I agree with that. We got a lot of folks there who are fighting.
But you won't just say it. You keep talking about this change that we got going on, and we've been making so much progress. We ain't been making nothing. Ain't nothing been made for us. We have nothing specific. Out of the voting population, we got the highest percentage of voters per capita than anybody else. And we vote strictly Democrat. And they ain't did shit for us in the last 70, 60 years, dating back to
any advancement you had.
Say it again.
I said any advancement you had, you earned it. You took a lot of things. I mean, that don't mean that ain't nobody else gonna get what you fought for. But anything that you got, you earned it. But everybody else said, well, give me some too. That's just like that money that $50 billion or something that people stole. You fight to get something, but they come along there and say, well, give me my share.
Well, I just tell the truth. I got to jump into this meeting, but
okay.
Give your final thought.
So my final thought is, the truth of the situation is black people are politically retarded. Meaning we don't understand how politics
some
work.
Black people. I can't. That's why I can't go along with it. I'm saying some, not everybody.
Let me grab his final thought, Uncle Pooh.
Yeah.
Let me grab
I would go with some, but it's too big of a number to be some. Some indicates like 10 to 12%. We're in the 90, 95% of black people, and I'll be that bold to say it. Maybe I'm wrong, whatever. Maybe it's actually 87. But the point is we're politically ignorant to the point where we don't understand how. Hold on, this is my final thought. We're politically ignorant to the point where we don't understand how politics work, and you think just because you went and cast a damn vote that makes you politically astute. and that you are actually participating in the process correctly. You are not. You're just giving away your damn vote, and you have no teeth because the very next year you talk a lot of shit and you vote for the same damn people that don't give you nothing, and you refuse to be honest enough to say, I've been voting for these people for 50 years. They ain't never did shit for me, but I'm going to keep voting for them because I don't want the other boogeyman to get in. And that is a strong enough narrative to get you to not even think about how you move politically. And we didn't even get to what you're supposed to get for your vote. You don't just vote to participate in the voting system. You vote to get shit as a people. That's what everybody else does, and we just act like it's a game.
When you say we, that ain't all of us. Let me say this. My final thoughts.
You got 1%.
50% of the wealth in this country, 50%, 1% of the people got 50% of the wealth. 10% of the people, just 10%, we got 350 million, 10% of the people got 90% of the wealth.
Yeah.
So you got 10%, not just amongst the blacks, that's among blacks, white, and everybody else. Ain't no money left when you got 10% of the people got 90% of the wealth, 1% got 50% of the wealth. So that just goes to show you we ain't the only ones under this thing here. You got people, man, who
I'm not concerned with them.
I'm not saying you're concerned with them. I'm just saying that we fighting Goliath. We David. That's all I'm saying. And we
ain't even fighting. Shit, we fighting for the giant. We fighting for the Goliath.
Wait, let me say this. Let me finish now.
All right, you're right. You're right.
When we find that slingshot to take care of Goliath, then we'll reap some benefits.
I think you're gonna find out.
Goliath is out there, man. And he kicking ass.
I think you're gonna find out that that's a trash story, and you need a better weapon than a slingshot. But go ahead.
So, my final thought is I gotta take Grandpa to that shopping center so he can see the progress, the incremental change that's been happening in the city. So that'll be my final thought. We'll see you guys next week.
I'm glad to see we getting something.
Riveting conversation. This was a good episode.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. We had Pops fired up today.
Might have to do updates on this how they spend the money whenever they decide what they're going to do.
Yeah, I think on the next week we got to go see the Woman King.
Oh, we got to talk about it. I want to wait. I want to wait till I get.
Is that in the local theaters now?
Yeah.
And I gotta go. I'm gonna go see it.
I want Auntie to be. I want Auntie to be on the episode.
I want to go back to WB Du Bois.
Y'all seen it?
What they?
No, I haven't seen it. I want Auntie to be on before, or somebody who's a woman to be on before.
Yeah, we need a woman for the Woman King. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah,
it's not gonna sound fair.
That's cool though. I mean, I'm excited to see it. I want to see
it. And the woman. Let me say this: my final thought.
The final thought.
The Woman King is talking about, I'm not walking beside you. We equal partners. We're going to go out there and we're going to fight together. And that's what we're doing now. The Woman, the King. She been behind us, helping us. But now she want equal voice in what we're doing. So that's my final thought. They ain't behind us. They're alongside of us. And together we can do something.
All I know is when the war break out, it's all hands on deck. So my woman better be a warrior. Otherwise, you can't be my woman. Like, now you ain't got to walk around like a warrior all day. But when it come time to fight, God damn it, we fighting. Like we ain't nobody coming up. You come up in this house, everybody don't cower behind my back. Take your position, grab your weapon. Let's get down, boy. We about to take them out. We'll worry about that later. Yeah, all right, we about to get into it. Let's say that for next week. Yeah,
next week. We'll see you guys.
Okay, enjoy. I enjoy.